Matt, welcome back to the program.
Happy to be here.
Let's start with the million-dollar question. Does Colin Allred defeat Ted Cruz on Tuesday?
He's certainly got a shot. He is in the game here. This is going to be a very, very close race. Let me tell you, if you care about the Senate race, regardless of what side you're on, you need to vote in this election because it's going to be close.
Do you think it would be closer than Beto O'Rourke 6 years ago? You think so?
It certainly could be. What Colin has done is doing a great job of making himself available to voters in the middle, people who don't think themselves are Democrats or Republicans. And Cruz is running a shameful campaign at the end, attacking trans kids. In your audience, there's probably nobody who has a son or a daughter who's going to play against a trans kid. There's 26,000 women out there who have been raped and forced to have a child.
Yeah, two big issues that have resonated in this campaign. Let me ask you about the hard numbers here. We had Derek Ryan on earlier in the program. He said that more voters with a Republican history have voted early than voters with a Democratic history. He also said young voters aren't showing up like they did 4 years ago. Those young voters are something Democrats rely on. Where is everybody?
Well, we do hope the young voters do show up in better numbers, though, but nobody should be surprised that people with Republican history are outvoting people with Democratic history in Texas. Republicans have a lot more contested primaries. More recently, they had a lot more contested primaries, and so that doesn't concern me. What you really want is the right geographic breakdown and the right racial breakdown of the vote. Things are leading on those in that category towards a close race. For example, the 5 biggest counties in Texas, you want them to make up 40-42% of the vote. They're about at 38-39%, so it's building toward that ratio.
And how about the racial makeup too? Because you have an interesting theory that is played out.
Yeah, absolutely. That you want the Anglo percentage of the vote to be right around 62-63%. It's about 65 now. And so obviously that means you've got an increased black and Latino vote. They're more likely to support the Democratic candidate. And once you get that mixed together, then it allows the Anglo or the Democratic candidate to win by getting, a little bit between 35 and 40% of the white vote.
If the Anglo vote is more than 60% of the total vote here in Texas, does that mean Republicans have a better shot than Democrats?
The lower the overall turnout and the higher percentage of Anglo participation helps Republicans. The higher the turnout and the lower rate of participation by Anglos, the better for the Democrat.
Just looking at the early voting numbers, I think back about Kamala Harris being in the race for such a short period of time, but the enthusiasm that she has created, plus look at the Colin Allred race and the amount of fundraising he's done. It's not reflecting so far in the early vote from what I've seen, though.
Well, there's a lot of work to do. We've got 2 more days and we've got election day. And the ratio of the vote, though, as I was talking about before in terms of racial makeup and geographic makeup, still point to a close race. So I'm not as worried about that.
You don't sound concerned really that much at all right now. There's still time, 48 hours?
There is time. There is time. Now, every day and every hour that ticks by, you want to do better. Democrats have done a little bit better each day. That needs to continue.
What does Allred need to do in the next 48 hours?
He needs to turn out his vote, identify supporters, and also continue to do what he's done so well, and that is talk about governing from the middle, being willing to represent all Texans, listening to opposing point of views, be available to independents and soft Republicans, contrast with Cruz, who is a very divisive guy who wants to pit Texans against each other all the time.
We hear about turnout the vote. That sounds easy. That's the hardest thing to do at the end of the day, isn't it?
It's absolutely hard, especially for Democrats, because our base is less likely to turn out. Also, here in Texas, we don't have very many close races at the end, and so there's a sense of, well, in the end of the day, the Republican probably wins. We have to get past that mindset and make sure that people know that this is a close race and you need to participate.
Have you seen anything really innovative strategy-wise in this election cycle that you hadn't seen before?
No, in fact, I think one of the most interesting things to me is that this has been a lot of blocking and tackling. What Colin Allred has done is kind of old-fashioned. He's made himself available to everybody. He hasn't said that I only want to talk to this group, I only want to talk to that group, and has really tried to build a broad coalition. That's a smart thing to do for a Democrat in a competitive district or state in Texas. And Ted Cruz has been very predictable. He's been very, very divisive, very, very negative from day one to today.
On Wednesday morning, there's going to be one group that's going to be upset and depressed. One side's going to be upset and depressed at the end of the day, just from a national level. Do you think we're going to see same things we saw like on January 6th? Do you think we'll see political problems, violence, things like that?
This is what I think, truly. I believe that if Kamala Harris wins, even if it's not that close, Donald Trump's not going to concede. He's going to try to create an atmosphere in which people feel like they were cheated, and there's going to be problems. If Trump wins, I think that Kamala Harris will concede the way Democrats did, the way Hillary Clinton did, but I worry then for the future of our country and the future of our democracy, because Trump has demonstrated that he doesn't believe in democracy, that he will be a dictator on day one, and he'll be an autocrat the whole time.
Final 48 hours, Matt, what are you going to be watching for?
Turnout, particularly in the big 5 counties, in the big urban counties. We want that to increase as a percentage of the overall turnout.
But suburban counties really, I mean, Democrats need the suburban counties as much as the urban counties.
Absolutely, and particularly because we're doing better. If you're looking kind of what counties do I pay attention to on election night when it comes in, I'd look at Tarrant County. If Colin Allred's at 52, 53%, that's a really good number for him. I'd look at Harris County, where Houston is. You want him to be in the high numbers, 50s over there, 57, 58. And here in Collin County, you want him right close to breaking even. If he's 49, 50%, that means this is a really close race. It could come down to the last few thousand votes.
Matt, we will be watching. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.